A few years ago, I was having a conversation with a wonderful woman who is a teacher at my church, and we were talking about the topic of technology and all of the advancements that we're seeing, obviously, some more concerning than others. And I asked her, if you could go back to when technology wasn't so widespread and society didn't feel so crazy, would you? And her response has stuck with me all these years. She said that she tends not to hanker for the past and that people have this natural tendency to remember the past with rose tinted glasses, forgetting that life back then was as challenging as it is today. And that this attitude of wishing for what was can really hinder us from making the most of what we have right now. And so, in short, she was saying that no, I wouldn't go back in time, and I'd rather just face up to reality and make the most of what we have right now. And that resonated with me so much because I remember a time when I was so unsatisfied with my current situation and so badly wanted to go back in time to happier days. For months, I would lie in bed at the end of each day, scrolling back through old photos on my phone, wishing I could leave where I was and be back in those moments. And she spoke about how it's so much more beneficial to focus on the day at hand and give it your best because today is all that we truly have. Yesterday has passed, tomorrow has not yet come, and so today is what we have to work with. Even in the Bible, so many of the instructions and declarations that we're given are for today. Like in Psalm 118, where the psalmist says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." Or in Hebrews, where the writer says, "Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts as you did in the rebellion." And even Jesus says, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross daily and follow me." And that starts with today, not tomorrow. So although the Bible might give us information about the past, the present, and the future, when it comes to instructions, they are often for today, things to be practiced right now. God wants us to live the best life that we can today and give it our best shot because today is all that we truly have. And all of this got me thinking about the different ways that we hinder ourselves from making the most of the day at hand. And one of those ways I've already touched on, which is hankering for the past and wishing we could go back to the good old days as opposed to pressing on to what is ahead and actually making the most of what we've got. But another key way that we hinder ourselves from making the most of today is by worrying about tomorrow. And it's this preoccupation with the future that robs us from giving today our all. And I want to touch on two reasons why worrying about tomorrow is an issue. Number one, it's overwhelming. Think about how a GPS works when you're driving. As you move, you're instructed on the next step. But now imagine you're at the start of your journey from, say, London to Newcastle, and Google Maps were to give you all of the instructions for the entire journey all in one go. Like you're going to be on the A14 for the next 14 miles, and then take the first exit at this roundabout, fourth exit at the next roundabout, and then you'll do 59 miles on A59, take the second exit here, third exit. You'll be like, sorry, what? Instead, it will guide you as you move, and you trust that with every exit and every turn, you're getting closer and closer to your destination, one landmark at a time. And so it is with God. As we walk steadfastly with him, day by day, instruction by instruction, he will guide us to all the right places and checkpoints that he's planned for our lives. But that starts with today, working with where we are right now. And this is really the essence of our faith. It's all about putting our trust in the God who knows the future even when we don't. And I remember someone pointed out something so interesting to me some time ago. They said, when the psalmist says, "Your word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my way," and you take a minute to actually picture what he's saying, if a lamp is lighting up your feet, then you're only able to see a few steps ahead of you and not the entire path. His word helps to illuminate the darkness that is before us and to light up the area that is around us and a few steps ahead, but that's all. We have to trust that as we keep walking, he will keep providing that light and that direction. And we also have to believe that not knowing all of the details or being able to see the entire path is actually to our benefit, because this life would be way too overwhelming otherwise. The second reason why worrying about tomorrow is an issue is because we try to extend the grace that God has given us for today till tomorrow. And stretching today's resources is always problematic. The Israelites tried doing that and their manna went moldy. Even Jesus was well aware of this, and he warned us against it when he said, Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Focus on today. That is manageable and doable and practical. You have a limited number of hours and you can capitalize your energy more effectively on one day than trying to stress or plan about what will happen tomorrow or the day after or the next month or the next year. It's like when you sleep for 8 hours, that energy that you regain as you rest is supposed to fuel you for the next 16 hours of the day. But what we try and do is to take some of that fuel and use it to stress about what will happen tomorrow or the day after or the year after that. And then when it comes time to completing today's tasks, we're already too exhausted or depressed because we've spent so much time worrying about days that haven't even come yet. The energy that God gave you for today is not designed to be spread over multiple days. It's for today. So don't use today's fuel trying to solve tomorrow's problems. And this applies when we're trying to break old habits or even try to build new healthy ones. If you bog yourself down saying things like, oh my goodness, how am I going to deal with this habit today? How am I going to keep this up consistently for the rest of my life? This is going to be so difficult. It will be so overwhelming. But if you start with capitalizing your energy on giving today your very best, you set yourself up for a better tomorrow. Because before you get to that future that you're worrying about, you first need to get through today. And you're better off giving today your very best. And please don't get me wrong, I'm not against planning ahead or thinking about the future. It's the preoccupation, the obsession, the overthinking about the future that hinders us from maximizing the day at hand that I'm referring to. But thank God we serve a God of solutions, and addressing these problems is simple. So if you're like me and you're doing what I used to do by wishing you could go back to the past and relive the good old days, ask God to help you be like Paul, who was forgetting all the things that were lying behind and pressing on to what was ahead. Ask him to help you see how he is at work in the present and is inviting you to partake in that, so you don't miss out on everything that he's got planned for you because you're too busy looking back over your shoulder. Life is here. It's happening right now, and he wants you to be fully engaged with that. If you're a worrier or a person who worries a lot about the future and all of the details of what's to come, ask God to help you put Matthew 6:34 into practice, where Jesus says not to worry about tomorrow and to rather focus on today. Tomorrow is in God's hands, and the same way that he's equipped you to face today is the same way he'll equip you and give you the strength and grace to face tomorrow. And you can ask him, Lord, what can I be doing to give today my best? How can I make the most of this day that you've given me? Your word says that this is the day that you have made and I'm supposed to rejoice and be glad in it. So help me live in that reality and trust that he'll answer, because he always does. So I hope this video encourages you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video by God's grace. Bye.